When I saw your new TV show, which is on Disney, which must thrill you because you're like a Disney fanatic.
That makes me happy.
And the show is called Big Shot. John plays a basketball coach who gets kicked out of college ball because he's a hothead and throws a chair at people. And then he ends up, the only job he can get is coaching a girls' high school basketball team, which is funny, but it's very charming.
It's incredibly charming. So well cast.
This character was a guy who was it said it on the page. Nobody liked him. He was unlikable. He was crabby. He was not a people person. I mean, it's a show about a guy who lets go of his preconceptions of what women are and what kids are and what basketball is, and actually, changes. He fights the change, but he lets it go, right?
No, it's a good part for you because it kind of mimics your life now. I mean, you've straightened out your life. You're living a different kind of life, and then in the show, you're learning how to relate to these girls, not to be a hard ass. You're opening up to your daughter on the show. That's a nice relationship between you and the girl who plays your daughter.
To learn to be a father too, that evolves. And by the 10th episode, he this is a great speech where he says, "I get it. Now it's about sacrifice. Sacrificing your own needs for your child. And at the end of the day, you don't get a ring, you don't get a trophy. But what you do get is, if you do it right, is a more loving, a more caring, a more kind version of you to leave behind the world." And that's cool. My dad.
So what are you showing me from your dad? You went over and grabbed this. What is that you grabbed something off the wall?
He never wrote, and again, he didn't say "I love you" a lot because my mom did every 2 seconds. You met my mother.
Yeah,
she would say, "I love
wonderful.
you, I love you." Yeah, you did too, Rob. She loved you guys.
Yeah.
And she would say, my dad would say, "You overuse it. If you say 'love you' all the time, it doesn't mean anything." So we were in, I was doing a movie in Yugoslavia when it was Yugoslavia, and I got to bring them. And when he got home, he wrote a letter out, which he very rarely wrote, and he faxed it to me. And I read it then and whatever. And then when he was dying, some 15, 20 years later, I was digging through his stuff. He was a very humble man. He drove the same car, just put a new engine in it, but he, made sure my sisters went to college, and my mom had a great life. And so I was looking for anything. He didn't, but I saw the bottom of this letter, and it said, "I love you, Dad." And I said, "What the hell?" Like my heart just stopped, and I was, "What is this?" And I read it. He said, "Dear Jay, he wrote ABC. First, I want to thank you for the opportunity to have a great trip and the view of Europe. Without you, we surely wouldn't have done it. B, you made me so proud those 3 weeks that my chest is about 60 inches wide right now, and the way that you handled all the people around you was fantastic. You are truly head and shoulders above everyone else." And he said, "C, he said, life isn't very long, and a man doesn't have many great moments, but you have given me many. Thank you. I love you, Dad." That was dad stuff.
The idea that your father took the time to write that letter and say, "My chest is swelling with pride over you."
Yeah.
I think that letter, I don't blame you for framing that on the wall. Believe me, I would frame it too.